Good evening, everyone. Please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Can we have roll call, please?
Supervisor McGlasson?
Here.
Councilwoman Campbell? Present. Councilman Tempori?
Here.
Councilman Ruthven?
Here.
Councilman Boyd?
Here.
All present.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
So we're going to move up the swearing in of our new police officer. We're not going to make everyone sit here through the Verizon franchise public hearing. So, do you want to start?
Sure. We've been looking for another officer. Peter Justino is coming to us from Wappinger Falls PD, highly recommended, and we're looking to get him started as soon as possible. So we're happy that he's willing to come on board.
Do you want to do the resolution first? Yes.
Sure.
We do the resolution first.
I'd like to make a resolution approving the hiring of a police officer, whereas there is currently a vacancy in the Town of Kent Police Department for a police officer, and by letter dated April 9th, 2025 to the Town Board, Chief of Police Kevin Owens has recommended the appointment of Peter Justino, who is currently an officer with the Wappinger Falls Police Department, to fill the position, and whereas Chief Owens advises that Mr. Justino is eligible to transfer according to Putnam County personnel, and whereas the Town Board wishes to accept the recommendation of the Chief of Police, now therefore be it resolved, the Town Board of the Town of Kent hereby appoints Peter Justino as police officer in the Town of Kent Police Department effective April 16th, 2025 at the yearly salary of $62,913.86. And it is further resolved that the appointment of Mr. Justino is contingent upon the passing of any further civil service requirements. I make this motion.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay. Okay, stand up. Okay, all right. I state your name,
I, Peter Justino,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of New York,
and the Constitution of the State of New York,
and that I will faithfully discharge the duties of the office of Town of Kent Police Officer.
and I will faithfully
Discharge.
discharge the duties of the office of Kent Police Department
According to the best of my ability.
according to the best of my ability.
So help me God.
So help me God.
Congratulations.
Thank you. Jay.
And now you guys can all,
Yeah, we'll step outside if that's okay. Do some
Try to keep it
pictures
down out there, will you?
outside. Thank you.
Thank you. Give it a second. Thank you.
I like the crowd. We should have made them wait till last.
Put them at the end.
Yeah.
Well, let's appreciate an audience now.
Okay, all right, moving on now. So I make a motion to open up the Verizon franchise agreement public hearing.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Nancy, do you want to just give a little overview? I know you and I sat in on the meeting with
Sure.
Verizon.
Yep, so our current franchise agreement with Verizon has expired, and they have submitted for our review and approval an extension of that agreement. It's a 5-year extension period. The payment that the town would receive is the same, it's just the way that it's calculated that's going to be different. We had kind of hoped to be able to negotiate the time period, but Verizon's not certain what the future brings in terms of streaming and other emerging technologies, so 5 years is as far as they're willing to go right now.
Because they don't know if cable will be around in 5 years. So,
Nobody from there is coming?
Sorry?
No one from Verizon is coming?
No. No, that last agreement was our initial agreement, so that's why it was kind of a big thing to do, because they had to install all of the equipment that was needed. This is just a renewal of an agreement that's been around for a long time.
So we can't make them fix certain things?
I'm sure we could definitely make requests to fix things.
Yeah, Kathy, if you would just, yeah, please. So, thank you.
Because I did bring it up last time, but I just wanted to make sure
Yeah,
that,
we
you
can
know,
reach
if you're
out.
getting in touch with them, is that they fix the main box for our area, which is by the, which restaurant?
Brick oven?
Dunwoody or?
On Dunwoody Road.
Yeah.
Tavern on 52.
Tavern, thank you. The Tavern on 52, there's a box right there on Dunwoody, and that even the technician said it's outdated, and we had trouble twice. And also, I mean, my son has Comcast now, and he's fine with it, but I did ask a neighbor on Lincoln, which is 3 houses from my son, said, "What do you have?" She goes, "I have Verizon." And my son sent me his email that Verizon said, "We do not..." I'll tell you exactly what it says. If I could read it. Oh, my goodness, I can't. Hold on.
She's going
She's
the other
coming
way.
around the other way.
81 Lincoln Drive, Carmel, New York, 10512. Verizon home internet services are not currently available at your address, but you can be among the first to know if they become available. How is it 3 houses down?
There are some properties that they can't access for whatever reason. I don't know
This
if
is-
it has to do with the infrastructure that they have to put in. That's just a guess.
Yeah, I'm just
I don't
saying
know.
that
Yeah.
it's, my store's in front of it, so, and I have Verizon.
It
So,
may be
again, I would
configuration of
ask
the
where,
property.
you
Yeah,
know.
I'm not sure.
Yeah, because they send a rep every year to my shop to ask if I want Verizon. I go, "Do they not tell you we all have Verizon here?" And you come in every year. And I brought it up to him about 81. He goes, "Oh, yeah, sometimes that happens." So those were my complaints. And, like, you know, because now, for years, I didn't have HD. And they tried to tell me it was my wiring. I said, "I'm married to an electrical contractor." And now with the new boxes, I have HD all of a sudden.
So Kathy, just what are your specific issues with it? Like, so you have cable, you're not getting channels, and
Right, no, now I do, because they gave us the new boxes after, 15 years, but whatever. But twice, it went down completely for days, and we count on it for my husband's business, and it went down.
this is
and
internet that you're referring to?
The internet went down. Well, I couldn't watch TV, and everything went down, because it's a bundle.
Okay.
So everything went down. And so when we called, it took days to come out, and the first guy is the one that found out after being at the house and saying, "You don't have anything." He found out. And then, so the second guy, it happened a month and a half later after that. Again, I told the technician what happened with the first guy. He goes, "I'll be right back." And he goes, "Sure enough." He goes, "This time a bunch of them were out." And he's the one that told me that it's an old box, and they don't even use that kind anymore. And I don't know if Verizon has the telephone by the Arts on the Lake, but that broken telephone pole is ridiculous. It's been there for how long? It's been hit by a car years ago, and you know what I'm talking about, don't you?
I've seen it.
Right, but is that Verizon?
I don't think,
Because a lot of times it's NICEC, then it's Verizon, then it's, you know.
I think these utility companies use the electric company poles. I don't think they,
I mean, I say,
like,
I think they would probably have, a
Comcast
lot
or
of times
Verizon
they'll
don't
only
have their
fix
own.
it if one fixes it and then the next one
yeah,
comes.
you'll see them move it as
But
they
again,
go.
if they have part in it, I would say somebody take that. It looks terrible for, it's on our main street.
There's nothing hooked to it anymore, right? There's nothing hooked on it anymore, is there? There's no wires on it. Yeah, I think that's a nice thing. Report that to nice
We
thing.
can have Richie call his contact at
Yeah.
NICEAG. Okay, any other?
yeah, so some of the benefits that we receive from Verizon is obviously this cable channel, correct? It's
Yes.
broadcast by them at no charge to us,
Right,
and they give us the equipment for that.
yes.
Is it possible, so we don't have a Wi-Fi here within the building for the public? So, I don't know if we can negotiate with them for some equipment to get us to Wi-Fi?
We can ask him.
Yeah, that's all I ask is, can we ask?
We can ask.
Yeah. So whether it's a router or whatever equipment.
We do also have to speak with our IT company to make, so that they can make sure that it's okay with what they do in the town.
Right.
Okay?
Yeah, in part because what they know in the future is that they may not be around here as far as what's being used. We have to prepare ourselves for what is the next step. Is it all Wi-Fi? Is everything going to be just broadcast on a different band or style? So
So are we gonna make a decision tonight or hold it over for a week? I mean, for the next meeting?
I think we should vote on it tonight, don't we?
well, for these things that we're asking for, we have to go to them, correct?
Yeah?
So it's got to be,
Ask real quick.
yeah,
In regards to the cable possibly being cut out in like 5 years from now, we can still live stream. So if they do provide us a Wi-Fi router in our TV studio room, we can live stream the meetings. So we can ask for that, might as well ask.
So Nancy, what are you suggesting? We ask for these requests before signing it, or before passing the resolution?
Yeah.
All right.
Okay,
Then
all right, so
hold
then
it
we'll
over.
table for, I don't even know what day the first meeting is in May, I don't have it up, but we'll put it on for the first meeting in May.
Anything else for your wish
And
list?
you're gonna reach out and call to them?
Yeah,
So I don't know anything about what Kathy's talking about old equipment out on the roads, but that should be something that we say to them through that phone call, is that residents are complaining
thank
that they
you.
got outdated equipment out in the neighborhoods, and
Mm-hmm.
we would expect that to be updated if we're signing a contract with you. Is that fair enough, Kathy?
Remember, don't get confused, the update that they're giving everybody now, the new little boxes.
No, this is the
Not the-
transformer, the
Yes.
connection on the streets.
okay, so we will table this until May 6th.
and obviously ask anybody out there to come forward with issues that may be similar to Kathy, so that when we do negotiate it in, we can specifically write in your issues.
We'll reach out before May 6th.
Yeah,
Yes.
please.
Okay.
All right. The next item is for the planning board. They are asking us to accept 2 bonds, not one. One is an erosion control bond for $2,500 for proceed at your own risk tree removal. And the other is, I don't have the resolution in front of me. Can I see a resolution?
I only have this
I
one.
only have the one also.
There's only one.
Only have the $2,500 one.
Simon, what's the other one?
They're both the same.
Both for,
It's just for two different applicants.
so, oh, they're both for proceed, the proceed at your own risk tree removal?
Yes.
One was for $2,500
Same amount of money.
for, oh, so,
One was for Seika and the other one was for Moody's.
All right, so
Okay.
we have this back part of it here, so you have Zaycon residency. Then
yes, we have part of it, we don't have everything, but we'll make it work.
it's enough to go on. Just put. They're both for erosion control bonds?
They're both, yes.
All right, I can wing
And
it.
$2,500.
Yes, both.
Yeah, I have one piece of the
We can wing it. though.
Zaycon and one piece for the Lettingtonville LLC.
We've got enough of the information off this that we'll just copy it over to this one, all
Yeah,
right? I'd like to make a motion to pass a resolution accepting erosion control surety bond. Whereas the planning board by resolution dated March 15th, 2025 has recommended the town board accept an erosion control bond in the amount of $2,500 from the owner of property located at 595 Ludingtonville Road, Carmel, New York, 10512, identified as tax map number 12.-2-27, and whereas the town board wishes to accept the recommendation as set forth in planning board resolution, now therefore be it resolved, the town board of the town of Kent hereby accepts the recommendation of the planning board and accepts the erosion control bond as further detailed above. I make this motion.
I just want to make one correction. So the resolution says 595 Ludingtonville Road, just for correction, all of the.
Oh, 592.
592, okay.
All right. All right, now we're gonna do,
Second?
Second.
Are you reading both? Oh, all in favor?
yeah, I'm just
Okay,
gonna.
now you're gonna wing
yeah.
it for the second
Can
one.
I have one of yours, because it's on the back of the same one. I make a motion to pass a resolution accepting erosion control surety bond Whereas the planning board by resolution dated March 15th, 2025 has recommended the town board accept an erosion control bond in the amount of $2,500 from the owner of property located at
What is it?
221 Rescue.
221.
that I don't have. 221 Rescue Road. These are exactly the same ones.
Yeah, they are.
We have, everything is the same, we never
Yeah.
have the.
That's what I was sent, so.
All right,
it's-
we're just gonna go with that. I'm not gonna have the tax map number, Simon, sorry.
Do you protect that? Okay.
Carmel, New York, 10512, and whereas the town board wishes to accept the recommendation as set forth in the planning board resolution, now therefore be it resolved, the town board of the town of Kent hereby accepts the recommendation of the planning board and accepts the erosion control bond as further detailed above. I make this motion.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All right. The next, we have a few things for recreation. The first item is that it is time to advertise for seasonal workers for the park, recreation and parks. So I ask that we do that tonight, if someone wants to read.
Make a motion to adopt a resolution authorizing the town clerk to advertise for seasonal park maintenance workers for the Kent Recreation and Parks Department. Whereas the town of Kent is seeking to fill the open positions of seasonal park maintenance workers for the Recreation and Parks Department. Whereas the town of Kent wishes to advertise for applicants to fill said positions, now therefore be it resolved. That the town board of the town of Kent hereby authorizes town clerk Yolanda D. Capelli to advertise for applications for the seasonal park maintenance worker positions for the Recreation and Parks Department. I make that motion.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Next item is our recreation leader, Juliette Kazari, has submitted her resignation. We wish her the best of luck, so I'm asking tonight to accept the resignation and to also advertise for the position.
Make a motion to adopt a resolution accepting the resignation of a recreation leader. Whereas by letter dated April 9th, 2025, Juliette Kazari informed the town board that she would be resigning from her position as recreation leader effective as of April 26, 2025. And whereas the town board wishes to accept the resignation of Ms. Kazari's, and whereas the town board wishes to authorize the town clerk to advertise for the vacant position of recreation leader due to Ms. Kazari's departure. Now therefore be it resolved, the town board accepts the resignation of Juliette Kazari as recreation leader in the Recreation and Parks Department with many thanks for her service to the town. Be it further resolved that the town board authorizes the town clerk to advertise for applications to fill the vacant position of recreation leader. I make that motion.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Our last item for recreation tonight is, we have 2 quotes to install cameras down at Ryan's Field. Unfortunately, this is not an expense that we budgeted for, but with more vandalism this past weekend, we really have no other choice because it's just costing us so much money to fix everything. And so we have 2 options. This is from our IT company, Managed Technologies. Our option 1, and I'm gonna let the board decide. Option 1 is $4,861.59. You have the backup, right? This includes some cameras, but we would not be able to see the whole park. This would, and I don't really wanna say the locations of the cameras, so, but, so this would just basically be a general view of the park, not all the fields. And then the other option is $10,763.78, and we would have cameras all over the entire park, upper fields and lower fields. Yes, Sue?
Susan Kotzer, Town of Kent. Perhaps more police surveillance could be on the site. Do you know the hours of the
Well, unfortunately, they don't
disturbance
follow
at the
normal
park?
business hours for vandalism. We have beefed up patrol.
You must have some kind of an idea of when this is happening. And we do have police officers that are already employed, and maybe you can put some more police surveillance over there before spending extra taxpayer dollars.
I understand, but right now we're paying extra taxpayer dollars to fix vandalism every day. And the police have upped their patrol on Ryan's Field, at the field, but it's not happening at the same time, and this way they would be able to monitor in the PD. They'd be able to say, there's someone in there there's someone there right now, can you send the patrol over? We can't have a patrol officer just dedicated to Ryan's Field. I think the cameras would cost a lot less money than having a patrol officer
by far.
dedicated there.
This is an idea.
No, we've already done that.
How about a hunter's camera that can like monitor license plates? And I put one up at recycling one time, and we caught a couple of guys dumping, and it's a few 9-volt batteries in the camera.
Yeah. I believe this vandalism isn't just a one-time thing,
No,
but
it's
it's been
been
happening.
It's been the past few weekends, it's been at night.
And for years.
Yes,
basically.
last year it was the,
I could speak to it. Over a 30-year career of watching the parks and being assigned to watch the parks overnight. It's pretty random when it happens. Do you know what I mean? And we've tried increasing patrols at that location, at Eustis Park, and other locations, and this would just be a deterrent to help us catch the people who are responsible. Like I said, over my 30-year career, Ryan's Field has probably been vandalized 100 times. Do you know what I mean? That I can remember. Do you know what I mean? Different things have happened that it's almost like the dumping thing. Like, I wish we had cameras everywhere, because my main thing is littering and dumping. It annoys me so much. But over my 30-year career, I've only caught one person actually in the act where I was like, all right, this is great. You're going to jail. Do you know what I mean? So they're just a help for us to say, hey, something's going on down at Ryan's Field. And I do think it would be a big help.
one of your officers said to me today, thank God you're finally putting cameras at Ryan's Field.
Yeah. And we did have cameras for a while. I don't know, like, old technology's not working correctly, but I think the new technology will help us with motion sensor or people going in there. We would know, hopefully. But I can tell, even with the cameras, there could still be criminal mischief.
Yes, but this.
Just so that we're clear.
That's
Young
why
people,
that's why we're not saying where the cameras are gonna be located.
most of the time it's young people, and we can't keep track of them everywhere in the community.
No.
So,
And
thank
when we
you.
could put up signs that say camera surveillance, it'll probably keep people from doing stuff.
I've seen that one.
What type of video are you getting from this? Is it gonna be like really clear, or is it gonna be like my Ring camera?
No, it's not gonna be like, 'cause
It's gonna be
I hate that
high-tech.
Ring camera, you don't know what's going on.
Right, unless somebody passes it at a certain time and.
And then it doesn't load sometimes, and you're like, I don't know who's there.
Okay, so that's.
No, it's gonna be in
a
real
state-of-the-art,
time.
real
Yes,
time.
yes, this
you
is gonna
know,
be-
And, I mean, unfortunately, our town is changing. We have 3 businesses with great, the metal curtains and the pharmacy now is all the way across, and you have 2 other shops. I mean, we look like the city. So unfortunately, I'm as cheap as they come, and I'd probably go for the 10,000, just because if you're gonna do it the right way.
Well, that's kind of what I'm thinking, that it's an expense that we wish we didn't have to do, but it's unfortunately necessary. So, and it's getting worse every week. So, do any board members have comments on, or,
Yeah, I would be leaning to the $4,000 one. We just,
but did you see, I don't want to say, did you see that it's not covering anything that we need the extra cameras?
So let's look at it this way. Every time there's vandalism out there, we pay staff and buy materials to
Yes,
fix it, right?
yes.
$10,000, I don't know what it's costed. Say it's $1,000 every time. We have 10 instances out there. We've paid for the thing. We
We've
catch
had 3
one of
this
them.
year already.
We catch one of them and make them pay restitution, and word gets around, or they have to.
Have the fines? Do they have the fines? It should be like a $500 fine every time.
Well, what's been happening with the county, and we have caught like graffiti and stuff on the bike path, is that they go to court and the judge makes them pay restitution to the county and community service. They have to go clean up somebody else's graffiti, which is a pretty big deterrent to make them stop doing graffiti.
No, that's like a
No, it's
criminal
criminal
thing,
mischief. They're
so,
gonna go in
yeah.
front of a judge, right?
So maybe we can make our money back.
Yeah.
I'm assuming we don't have insurance to cover it, or is it just not, it's below a threshold where we wouldn't apply for insurance?
I don't think insurance would cover this because this is, well, maybe,
Yeah,
yes.
there's the other
But
side.
maybe we could tell the insurance, now I have cameras down there, and maybe we get a discount or
Yeah, I
something
like
on the
that idea.
insurance, so, but that's,
And even from a vandalism standpoint, it's also a safety thing down there too, with small children and everything. It's not a bad idea to have cameras and see vehicle license plates coming in and out if something nefarious were to happen. I'm good with the $10,000 one.
Likewise.
Me too.
okay. Someone want to read the,
Sure. I'd like to make a motion to pass a resolution accepting a quote for a security camera for the Parks and Recreation Department, whereas the town of Kent is in need of an update to the security camera system for Edward Ryan Park, and whereas the town board is in receipt of 2 quotes from Managed Technologies of New York, Inc. to provide the equipment necessary and install the security cameras in accordance with the contract between the town and Managed Technologies of New York, Inc. And whereas Managed Technologies of New York, Inc. has proposed total cost to provide the updated equipment and complete the installation to be, that's the $4,000 one.
Here. Don't mind.
Yeah, where's the
What,
10,000?
We're dealing with.
No, 10,000, that's the $4,000 one.
Is-
$10,763.78. Now therefore be it resolved that the town board of the town of Kent hereby accepts the quote of Managed Technologies of New York, Inc. to provide the equipment necessary and install the security cameras at Edward Ryan Park for a price not to exceed $10,763.78. I make the motion.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Our next item is for the town clerk. Lana Capelli needs to submit the standard workday for elected officials.
Yes, it's for Norma and Kristen.
So we just need to do a resolution so that they can submit to, for your retirement reporting.
I want to thank my colleague Jorma for helping me do this.
You're welcome.
Believe it or not, it's the first time I've done it in all the years I've been on the board.
But we've told you every year to do it.
But it wasn't required until this year because of my other job. Now they're making it.
And it wasn't paying enough.
All right.
You owe me a cup of coffee.
I'll give you a cup of coffee for that. That was well worth it.
All right, does someone want to read the resolution?
Maybe they shouldn't read their own.
Okay.
Correct.
Ann or Sean, do one of you want to read the resolution?
I make a motion for resolution setting standard workday elected officials. Whereas the town of Kent wishes to establish a standard workday for its elected officials. Now therefore be it resolved that the town of Kent hereby establishes a standard workdays for its elected officials as set forth on the attached schedule, and will report days worked to the New York State and local employees retirement system based on the time keeping system for the record of activities maintained and submitted by these members to the clerk of this body. I make this motion.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
So next item is for Lake Carmel. It is time to
Just
order.
sorry about, so you guys, you didn't vote? Do you want to take a roll call on it, just to show you did not vote?
Should they not vote? It doesn't matter? Okay. They
Okay.
just shouldn't read the roll.
I didn't say nothing.
I know you didn't say anything, which is why
But-
I said something.
I think it still counts though.
3 of you said something.
So
It
3 of
passed.
us, yeah.
All in favor?
Okay.
What do you think? I think they all voted on it in the past, right?
But even if you said no at this point, there would be 3 of us, that would be good, and then you could show that.
Wait,
Just to
wait,
clarify, I did this when I first got on the board, right? So that's not,
They were supposed to too, but they were in denial.
I've never been to Egypt. I don't know what you're talking about.
You did it, yeah.
You're not in the denial?
The same
Not
thing,
in the
you had
denial.
3 months of your activities and,
I remember doing that.
but they didn't think that they needed it because they already are in the retirement system, but retirement controller's office said, no, they have to.
I mean, I can't get more hours than I'm already getting through my other job. I'm getting a full day's credit for my other job, so this is just,
I'm not gonna argue with the comptroller.
makes no sense to me whatsoever.
Okay, moving on. Yes, because here's the thing, what if we did it at the right time? If you did it with myself and Ann, then that would have been 4. And then what, just Sean would have not voted?
I must have missed every time we've ever done that, because that's the first time I've ever sat through one of them. Must
Yes,
have
it must have.
been, probably.
maple syrup season.
Yep.
All right, are you good for me to move on now, or are you still?
Yeah, I wish we get to the end.
We're good.
All right, so the next item is for porta potties around Lake Carmel. I know it's very exciting. So we received 3 quotes, and we are going to go with the lowest quote, or I'm asking us to go with the lowest quote for CRP sanitation, which is, let me see if I have which is also known as Got to Go.
All right.
In case you gotta go.
Clever.
So they're for, I'll just tell everyone, $90 for a standard unit, which includes 1 time a week cleaning, $120 for the handicap units, which also includes the 1 time a week cleaning, and $45 for Oh, okay, for 2 times a week cleaning if we need to go with that. They're the cheapest of all the 3 that we reached out to.
Now, with these are like the standard ones we have during the year. Do we get more than these for the fireworks? Is that like something additional that
We
we'll do
call,
later?
sometimes when we have events up here, we'll get extras, so yeah.
These are just the standards?
These are just the standards
stay
that we put
down
around,
there.
that we put around the lake for the season.
Very good.
If someone wants to read that, if
I
you're
got
good
it.
with it.
Make a motion to adopt the resolution acceptance of a quote for rental of porta-johns. Whereas there is a need to rent portable toilets for beaches 2, 3, 4, and 7, and the maintenance garage in the Lake Carmel Park District, and whereas in accordance with the town's procurement policy, the LCPD clerk requested quotes from 3 companies and received 3 quotes from response, copies of which are annexed here 2 and incorporated herein by reference, and whereas CPR Sanitation has submitted the lowest quote, and whereas the town board of the town of Kent wishes to accept the quote submitted by CPR Sanitation for the calendar year 2025, now therefore be it resolved, the town board of the town of Kent hereby approves the rental of porta-johns from CPR Sanitation at the prices set forth on the quote annexed here 2 for the calendar year 2025. The town supervisor is hereby authorized and directed to execute any and all agreements necessary to give effect to this resolution consistent with the terms hereof, all in form satisfactory to the supervisor and the town attorney if requested. I make that motion.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
The next item is we have a tree that needs to be taken down behind Homestead Drive. We've received 3 quotes, and our crew chief, Frank Sabatini, is asking us to go with Red Oak Tree Service for a price of $1,800. Excuse me? Behind Homestead Drive.
44 Homestead?
44.
It's by someone's house, but it's on our property, and it's unsafe, so.
And it's actually multiple trees.
Let's remove
4
all
large
trees.
trees and 2 small, yes. Black birch trees. We're just cutting them down, leaving the wood leaving it right where they are. They're not coming out, so just to make it safer. Are you good?
Yeah. Ann, you want to read something?
Yeah, sure. So I make a motion to adopt a resolution accepting a quote for tree removal at the Lake Carmel Park District. Whereas there is a need for the removal of numerous trees within the Lake Carmel Park District, and whereas in accordance with the town's procurement policy, the town requested quotes for the removal of the trees and received 3 written quotes in response. Copies of such quotes are attached here too and incorporated hereby. And whereas Red Oak Tree Service submitted the lowest quote in the amount of $1,800, and whereas the town board of the town of Kent wishes to accept the quote submitted by Red Oak Tree Service, now therefore be it resolved that the town board of the town of Kent hereby approves the removal of the trees at Lake Carmel Park District by Red Oak Tree Service at a price not to exceed $1,800. I make that motion.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Our next item is something I'm asking the board to approve tonight. Earlier today, I stood out front with every other town supervisor and mayor from Putnam County, urging the legislatures to give the towns the rights to a portion of the sales tax. This is the first time I've ever sat in a room with all 9 mayors and supervisors, and we've all agreed. We're all of different parties, and we all were able to agree on something, which never happens. I'm going to read, I'm not going to read the whole letter. It was in the backup, but I will read a portion of it that we all sent up to, this went to the state delegates for Putnam County. We, the undersigned, represent all the taxpayers of Putnam County. We are a consortium of duly elected supervisors and mayors from 9 municipalities representing the nearly 100,000 residents who call Putnam County home. Earlier this month, a truly historic and unprecedented meeting took place in Putnam Valley, where for the first time ever, all 9 municipality leaders came together alongside County Executive Byrne. United in purpose, we voiced collective support for a proposal that pairs county property tax relief with a groundbreaking plan to allocate county sales tax revenue, delivering much-needed local relief to towns and villages across the county. I'm not going to read more. I think the board took part also on the some of the members of the board took part of the press conference today, and I'm just asking us to sign this resolution so we can send it to the legislature to let them know that we are all in favor, and we are encouraging them to sign this in benefit of the towns.
Would that money be used for
In,
Our taxes?
well, it can
Could
be
be.
used, yes. So we all agreed to the one stipulation that it cannot be used for payroll, but it can be used for infrastructure. You know, we can use it to offset the highway budget. We can use it to offset other parts of the town.
How about the EMS budget?
Yes, that's infrastructure. We can't use it for payroll. So,
But use it for EMS budget. I'm
Yes.
just saying, that's what's costing.
yes, to purchase other, yes, but not for their payroll, but yes, we could. It could also be split up. The way we figured out rough numbers, we will be getting over $200,000. So that number could fluctuate, but that's what we're anticipating. So, yes, we could use a portion for that. You know, it can be split up too, as long as it's not used for payroll. Or creating new jobs, which obviously, because you wouldn't want to use that money, right, because there's no guarantee every year. So, I'm asking us to approve this resolution. I think, Councilman Ruthven, are you?
I'm going to abstain.
Okay. All right. Does someone read the resolution? Want me to read? I'll read the resolution.
let's do
What
that.
can I read? It has my name in it, I guess.
I can read it.
Okay, because it has my name and I feel weird.
Yeah. So I know this has been contentious, and there's, sort of disagreement about whether it's better to give property tax relief through increased sales tax revenue as opposed to the reverse. But I think there's a strong consensus that property tax relief is a high priority in the communities in Putnam County. So I'm hoping this will go through. It does require the legislature to act. Anyway, whereas the Putnam County Executive and his administration have again proposed renewing the previously authorized 1% county sales tax extension to the Putnam County Legislature, and whereas the county is proposing to share a portion of its sales tax revenue with the towns and villages of the county, and whereas Supervisor McGlasson, along with other elected officials from towns and villages in Putnam County, have met with County Executive Byrne, and together have unanimously agreed to support the 1% county sales tax extension and a specified sales tax sharing program. And whereas the increased and proposed mechanism for sharing sales tax is as set forth in a letter attached to and made a part hereof, the letter, and whereas the county executive and the towns and villages have asked state representatives to propose legislation extending the 1% county sales tax increase in the letter, and whereas the town of Kent supports extending the 1% county sales tax increase, and whereas it is in the best interest of the town of Kent to participate in the county's sales tax sharing to support infrastructure projects, local programs, provide tax relief, and other essential services, now therefore be it resolved that the town of Kent shall take whatever action necessary to support the county extending the 1% county sales tax rate, and be it further resolved that the town of Kent urges the Putnam County Legislature to call a special meeting to consider and adopt the resolutions proposed by the county executive in conjunction with the towns and villages of Putnam County. And be it further resolved that the town of Kent shall take whatever action necessary to support and effectuate the county executive's proposed sales tax sharing at 1/9 of 1% to be allocated to the town according to population, with every town and village to receive a minimum of $50,000, including but not limited to passing any necessary resolutions, entering into appropriate agreements with the county with such terms as enumerated here and any other set forth by the county, and/or providing the county with necessary information. I make that motion.
Second.
Roll call.
Councilwoman Campbell?
Aye.
Councilman Zapori?
Aye.
Councilman Ruthven, you said you abstained?
Abstain.
Councilman Boyd?
Aye.
Supervisor McGlasson?
Yes,
Motion carries.
thank you. Okay, last item on the agenda for tonight is the Town Hall Annex. We went out to bid, and unfortunately, we only received one bid. So I'm asking us tonight to throw up the one bid that we received and to go out to rebid for the project.
Yeah. And when you say one,
I said yes, I call it Town Hall Annex, but yes, the old Town Hall.
yeah. And one bid was just a portion of it. It wasn't a
Yes.
general contractor bid. It was just, it was like for plumbing, right? Yeah, it was-
Yes, but you should also, I feel like a job like that, you should never just take one bid.
Right.
Yeah, well, that's my point exactly. We
Yes.
need a general contractor to bid on the job along with the subs.
And
only
more than one.
Yeah, more than one.
We need
But-
options.
But this time, hopefully, I've made some phone calls, contacted some people that are subs, so we should get a handful of people to bid on it this time.
let's hope. Okay.
I make a motion to pass a resolution authorizing the town clerk to advertise for bids for Town of Kent Town Hall Annex. Whereas the Town of Kent wishes to advertise for bids for the general construction, mechanical construction, plumbing construction, and electrical construction for the Town of Kent Town Hall Annex, and whereas the Town Board of the Town of Kent wishes to authorize its town clerk, Yolanda D. Capelli, to advertise for the above described bids. Now therefore be it resolved, the Town Board of the Town of Kent hereby authorizes its town clerk, Yolanda D. Capelli, to advertise for bids for the general construction, mechanical construction, plumbing construction, and electrical construction for the Town of Kent Town Hall Annex. I make this motion.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye. And just to say something about that, why we probably didn't get people to bid, it's a tough job. It comes in at just under 2 million. So it's kind of too big of a job for small contractors because it's a prevailing wage job and you've got to put 5% down on it. In other words, you've got to give the town 5% of the value of the job before you start it. And it's too small for bigger contractors to do. They generally like jobs above $2 million. People that normally deal with prevailing wage and bonds and stuff like that. So it's a job that's kind of fallen into the cracks. Isn't that what we got for it? Isn't it like 2 million?
We don't know yet.
No.
We don't have the bids in.
We don't have the bids.
No, well, I mean, that's what we're planning, right? Isn't that what Barton Legidus wrote in the engineering? That was like an estimated idea?
I thought it was a lot lower than that.
Yeah, I don't think that
No,
was what
I
it
thought
was.
I thought it was around there.
That was not, no.
Okay.
Honestly, we don't know until the bids come in.
And you're also
Clearly, but-
separating all the contractors, so it's not 2 million to one contractor, you're just all individual.
Right.
Yeah.
Why did they do it that way? Why didn't we hire a general contractor and let them sub it out?
I think that would cost more money.
No?
Well, I think it is
I
in
think
general.
I think Barton and LaJudas would, in their contract, they act as like the general contract.
Oh, they're like the
Like the
clerk,
project
like the
manager.
clerk of the works
Yes.
type of thing.
Yes.
Yep.
It'd be a lot of money if you had a project manager.
Ready for vouchers?
We're ready for you.
The following vouchers were over the threshold for April 15th, 2025. Department of Labor, $2,563.40 for unemployment insurance from the first quarter of 2025. Facilities maintenance, $3,525 for contract cleaning for March 31st, 2025. GAR Associates LLC, $12,000 for contract billing to the Town of Kent reassessment. Home Depot Credit Services, $2,626.63 for the Recreation Department for March of 2025. Insight Engineering, $2,911 for Hustis Park Expansion Project. Magna 5, $5,779.25 for IT server for April of 2025. Millennium Strategies LLC, $3,500 for grant writing for January, and $3,500 for grant writing for February, and $3,500 for grant writing for March. Municipal repairs, $52,712.91 for chargebacks for highway for March and April of 2025. Ring Squared, $3,917.36 for phone services for April of 2025. RTT Industries LLC, $11,440 for highway disposal of logs, brush, and stumps. Schnabel Engineering of New York, $45,600 for on-call services for the Lake Carmel Dam through March of 2025. Wind Waste, $11,584.75 for Lake Carmel Recycling from March of 24 through the 31st of 2025. And Wind Waste, $6,740.42 for Lake Carmel Garbage for April 1st through the 4th of 2025. And I'm sorry, Ann, I left recycling in the other room. Do you have that up there? No, next time.
Sue?
Yeah.
Do you-
Do you know the, I left Royal in the other room. Do you know the amount offhand?
I do not.
All right, we'll do it next time.
And Royal for whatever amount it is.
Yeah, and Royal Carding for the, whatever amount it was for the last bill that Sue submitted that I left in the other room. I asked the board to approve as read.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, announcements. Since I've been getting a lot of calls about this, I will remind everyone that the fireworks will be held on July 5th with a rain date of July 6th. I had like probably 10 phone calls this week of people asking when the fireworks were. I think everyone is planning their summer. I think with the snow the other day. So July 5th with a rain date of July 6th. We'll also have our backyard Olympics that day. But before that, we have this coming Saturday. We had to push our our egg hunt from last Saturday to this Saturday because we woke up and there was snow, so that was not a good day. So this weekend, we will have our egg hunt. There's still room. You can call. We'll get you in.
It's supposed to be really nice this Saturday.
So it was good that we waited.
Like 80
Although I did have
80
some people
degrees.
say, what, you could have had the egg hunt. I had snow at my house. I didn't really think anyone wanted to hunt for eggs, but, and keep a lookout on our recreation page for summer camps, our farmer's market, and movie nights. That's all I have.
Nice.
Ann?
I'll do a couple before. April 26th, a reminder again, Kent Cleanup Day from 9 to 11 at Kent Police Department Headquarters. We will be giving out supplies, so if you are organizing your resident community, please just come by or email us, let us know who's coming so we can have stuff ready for you. And also that same day is the Putnam County Autism Awareness Walk from 11 to 2 at Tilly Foster Farm.
Is that it?
That's all I have.
Okay, and just an addendum on the cleanup. I think there's still going to be the competition down at Lake Carmel for kids, which one can clean up the most garbage. And you can check in.
For Lake Carmel residents.
Yes,
only.
Lake Carmel residents only. And you can check in at Champlain Drive and 311, or you can email the rec department to register for that. And yes,
I think you can email Lake Carmel Parks Department,
Lake Carmel Parks District.
not
Clerk.
recreation.
okay, let me make sure I have the right email because I haven't sent the press release in.
Okay.
I'll check with you after. Sorry about that.
No, that's okay.
Okay, and then the library always has a lot going on. This is a chance for us to actually support the library. They are looking for volunteers to help the Friends of the Library to sort books to get ready for the sales and the Book Nook. That's Mondays from 10 to 2. If you're available to give them a hand, you just have to be over 18. And as always, there are many other events. This Thursday, I guess with Earth Day in mind, you can make recycled art creations at 11 a.m. This is for kids, with all kinds of recyclable materials. And there's also going to be a talk by Robert Bucari, the teacher at Carmel High School, also a well-known local reenactor. He's going to be talking about our area's participation in the American Revolutionary War, and that's going to be Tuesday, a week from tonight, 6 o'clock at the library. And of course, there's always lots more. Please check their website. Thanks.
Now we get a Lake Carmel Fire Department, April 27th, which is Sunday, 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. is Touch a Truck for the kids. They'll have hot dogs and hamburgers there from Deliland. Brick Oven Pizza will have food there. There'll be an ice cream truck. Bring the kiddies over to the Lake Carmel Fire Department, April 27th, Sunday.
Kathy, you weren't at Lake Carmel Park Advisory Board last night, but to bring everybody up to speed, Jamie and I had a meeting last Wednesday with Insight Engineering and Schnabel Engineering and a bunch of people from Putnam County to sit down and go through some of our options for the Lake Carmel Dam, which is one of our big projects that we're working toward. So basically, we've hired we've hired Insight, who's subcontracted to Schnabel Engineering, but I guess we contracted with them directly too.
Yes.
Together, they're both working on it. They came up with a bunch. I think there was 6 different options, varying in price, and you know, it was kind of all over the place on the options they gave us, and they wanted to know which one we wanted to proceed with for them to continue the engineering. There was 2 of them that were, and when I say price, they didn't give us numbers. They gave us a scale of 6 to 0 or 6 to 1, and they said 6 being the highest and 1 being the lowest. And I'll tell you right now, there was no 1s on the list. So we really were looking more at the 3s and the 2s, and we chose one of the 2s, which is something that Kathy will remember. We've talked about this at length before, that they always thought that one of the ways of solving this was to armor the back of the dam and use the whole road as the overflow spillway in the case of a storm, because that way they could not have to widen the existing spillway to 3 times the size it is now to meet the requirements that the DEC is saying that it needs to be. So that's the option we chose. They'll be continuing on with the engineering at this point. We kind of asked them a timeline. They thought that toward the end of this year to early 2026, they would have the engineering wrapped up and give us final cost, estimates, because we have to go out and try to get more money from our politicians and grants and everything else that give us stuff. And then At that point, they think we could be ready if we could find the funding to go out to bid by next spring, summertime.
When you're saying they're gonna use the whole road.
Yeah, they always said
Are
that.
they taking the bridge down, the one that's owned by the county?
So, we're not gonna get into that here right now, but the county was present in the meeting, and the bridge, because the abutments are in bad shape, the bridge has to be addressed through the process, and they have some different ideas than replacing that bridge as part of their plans. I think they said 1 or 2 or even 3 big culverts instead of the bridge going in there.
But the county's talking about that.
Well, I just told you that the engineering firm was meeting with us and bringing us up to date. We're not discussing who, what, when, or where at this point in time. We're just trying to get to the point where we know what we got and what the project is. All right?
We can have conceptual plans anytime we're out.
I think now that we've given them a direction, yes. You know, when I tell you that it was pretty wild, some of the proposals they gave us. I mean, huge concrete sluiceways going over on where the spillway isn't. There was a lot of different plans for this, and I think the one we chose is the best option for us.
And the walking path will also.
And the walking, it'll widen, it has to widen anyway, because there is some integrity in the earth and spillway issues right now, so they're gonna have to add material to the back of it quite a bit, but it'll give us enough room to be able in the future to put the walking path completely over the dam safely.
Would they have to move all the gatehouse?
No, they're gonna add on to the back. The back will end up being where they add material, and then they put in this,
Spent a lot of money on those gatehouse.
and they put in, it's not gonna be earth like it is now, it's gonna be, it's some kind of soil, but it's like soil that's like concrete. I can't remember what they called it, engineered soil that goes up and lifts up the back, and it hardens like concrete, but it's not concrete. They called it engineered soil, I
They
think.
did.
It's got Portland mixed in
And
with it.
they tamp it into lifts up the back.
So it's happening on Route 6.
And then
Crook-
they say some people do cover it back with topsoil and plant on it if they want to, and some people don't. But it gives it the stability that it's gonna need to last another 100 years. 'Cause that's about what it is, if not more. It's getting close.
I think at this point it's over.
1930s, I think. It's getting close to 100 years old.
It was 1929, I believe.
Yeah.
Oh, 39, thank you.
So,
So,
When you drive in the Route 6 into mail pack, that's what they're doing, same thing.
same thing.
They're tearing it
Oh,
with that.
yeah, yeah. Down below in the deep.
Yep.
So that's where we're at with it. I figured everybody would wanna know that it's still working, chugging along.
and just as a quick funding update, the town was awarded 2.5 million from DEC Water Quality Improvement Program, but we're going to need a lot more, and we are in the process now of reapplying for congressionally directed spending and community project funding. So that's gone to our senators, and it's about to go to our congressmen.
Any public comment?
You mentioned Insight Engineering and Uses Park expansion project. What is that expansion project?
It's the same one we've always talked about putting in the restrooms and the playground.
Oh, okay.
So-
All right, I thought maybe there was something new.
No, no.
Okay, thanks.
Okay,
Good? Do we need to go back in? I think we're done, right?
I think we're good.
All right, I make a motion to adjourn.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
See everyone on May 6th.